Hey everybody, I'm Cubastic and I've been doing speedcubing for maybe 9 or 8 years, a long period of time. And during this period, the Rubik's Cube, such a popular children's toy and puzzle, evolved with time, and now it can be electronic, it can be connected to the phone and can repeat completely all the movements you are doing, and yet, yes, it can be solved on its own. As you can see, but today we will talk about ordinary Rubik's Cubes, because they are the most popular. Regular speedcube models that can be solved in a matter of a second. In just 3-4 seconds, a person is able to solve the world's most popular puzzle. And today I found it. I found my very first speed Rubik's Cube. Guys, I have it on my table. This puzzle is exactly 10 years old. This is how the most modern speedcubing device looked 10 years ago. The best speed Rubik's Cube ever. It had no competitors, no third-party manufacturers, there was only Diane. This is the name of the company that produced this cube. I know that each of you, if you have ever solved a Rubik's Cube for speed, you know what Diane is. And now this is Diane, the 5th version. A cube that can easily be mixed up with a modern cube released just a month ago, because it rotates so well. And at that time, 10 years ago, it had no competitors, and it could have been solved quickly enough. And with exactly this model of Rubik's Cube, people began to set new world records almost every week. With this Rubik's Cube, a person was able to solve in 7 seconds, in 6, and even in 5 in my opinion. I could be wrong, nevertheless, this model is interesting enough. I want to review it for those who do not know what it is, but this is just a beginning. Because I found exactly the same Rubik's Cube produced in 2021. The difference between these two cubes is exactly 10 years, and today there will be a detailed comparison of them. Let's start of course with the speed solving of a regular old Rubik's Cube. You know, some time ago it was not even possible to buy a Rubik's Cube somewhere, and today, thank God, there is a great store called the Cubicle. This is one of the largest and one of the best online puzzle stores in the world. There you can buy a classic Rubik's Cube. By the way, perhaps even such models are still available there, and other speed Rubik's Cubes, as well as other puzzles, accessories and much more. There is a huge selection of goods. And as a nice bonus, you will receive a discount using a special Cubastic promo code, link in the description. Well, I'll try to solve the Rubik's Cube Diane Zenchi, if I'm not mistaken, Diane Zenchi. This is correct Chinese name, everyone called it like that. It was also called Diane 5, because before that there were 4 more versions of this cube, but they are not so popular because they were completely unsuccessful. But nevertheless, now I will solve a cube that is 10 years old and see how long it will take me to cope with it. I'm really curious right now. 3, 2, go! Listen, well, these are the same emotions, this sound is unique. I remember myself 10 years ago, still really young and inexperienced. It was cool. I associate this cube precisely with the Speedcubers gatherings, which were popular at that time, with competitions and the first records. By the way, as soon as I took this model of Rubik's Cube, I overcame my personal record by 5 seconds. Now I managed to solve it in 13:38. 10 years ago I could only dream of such a result. But today this is not the only hero of this video. There is also such Diane, which is called Diane Tengian 3rd Cube 2nd generation. 10 years of difference between cubes. It is already clear from the box that there are quite a lot of all modern Speedcubers things here, like magnets, flexible cube settings, and there is premium plastic. Now we'll take a closer look at all this. But first I'll probably show you what is inside this cube. Because this technology was unique at that time. Just look at these details. They are awesome. Of course, over 10 years the cube doesn't look new, it looks bad enough, it is really dusty. Its main feature was the presence of this little blocker. This small oval element didn't allow the cube to break, although this happened sometimes. Probably many of you do not remember the moment when during a speed solving the cube could simply fall apart. It was terrible if it happened in a subway, for example. But here's the thing that waits for us here in this box. Modern Rubik's Cube. Packed absolutely standard, nothing out of the ordinary. But nevertheless, by weight, it already feels more massive, heavier. It is obvious how much the stickers have changed. They used to be like this, dull and ordinary, but now they are much brighter. All this done in order to react to colors as quickly as possible, so that the colors differs as much as possible from each other. And here you can even see that red is not quite red, but such a poisonous saturated orange. So if you compare it with ordinary orange, it is unfortunately not visible on the video, but in real life these colors seem to be like neon. Feels like they are emitting light, but actually they don't. It looks just amazing, by all the canons of modern speedcubing. Let's see what else we got here. Additional details, this is a cross piece. There are also such wonderful devices here, I don't know what they are, I hope we'll find out it more today. Huge instruction, here it is written on how to solve the cube. But what is the purpose if my channel has a tutorial on how to do it, right? There's a screwdriver here. Wow, additional springs. Another set of springs, and they are all different. And what? Another screwdriver? My goodness, what's all this for? For just one cube? I've never bothered that much. There are also some pieces of paper in the kit, and here it is shown how to customize this cube. Look, if you look closely at this diagram, you can see that in each central element there are two springs, two special adjustable nuts, and here is a screw that will need to be tightened. This will take lots of time for me to deal with, of course, but I see such a system for the first time in my life. Two springs? Two are in the centerpiece. First we will try to solve it, and then let's look at its internal structure in order to understand what is so special about it. In terms of rotation, it is quite pleasant. It's a little bit smaller, I can feel it now, and it's clearly seen that it's literally 1–1.5 millimeters smaller than the old version. And by the way, yes, all the cubes are now about this size. If earlier the standard size was 57 millimeters, now it is 55–56, because it's easier that way. Really soft movement. I wouldn't say it's highly controllable, but I can clearly feel how every edge locks in at full turn. This means that the magnets inside are working. Let's try to solve this Rubik's Cube for speed. Let's see how long it takes me to do it. Before continuing to watch this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications. Videos are released every week on Tuesdays and Fridays. Check it out. Okay, not bad. Look, it's pretty good cube. It took me 11 seconds to solve it. It turns much smoother, indeed, much softer. You have a better control. It feels like it's solved on its own in my hands. I make less effort for this. But the most interesting thing is inside this cube. Let's see what's in there, because according to this manual, there is something completely crazy inside. Okay, we will see. For starters, oh, this is the first time I see this. Look! There is a triple magnet here. There are 3 magnets here. Damn, 3 on the edge. How does it work? Ah, I got it. Usually there's 1 magnet on each edge and 1 on each corner, and thanks to this little screwdriver we can change their position as we need. To make it like this, or like that. There are still numbers here that are barely visible. Here are 3, 1 and 2. Now the whole cube is set to 2. As I understand it, this is the average value of the magnets, and it's pretty cool. So that's what there are 2 screwdrivers for. One is for the magnets and the other is clearly for the part that is under this cover. There is a small hint here that indicates the direction. If we press it with this key, press down, then we seem to separate 2 nuts, upper and lower, and then the upper one can rotate freely. But this little thing, which I mentioned at the beginning, is needed in order to fix the inner nut in one of 4 positions. Look. As a result, we rotate the nut and fix it, which it says here 0.8. Here you can see 1.0 and here it is 1.2. Looks so similar to nuts from the other manufacturers. This means that we lose and tighten the nut in one of the positions. Let's return it back to the way it was in the beginning. Here everywhere it was 0.6, done, yes, on the softest side. Quite interesting. Several years ago, when there were only such type of cubes, it was extremely difficult to solve them with one hand. They were pretty heavy, uncontrollable with the poor corners. By the way, let's check how this or that cube cuts the angle. Here is a little less than 40 degrees. Goes well, and if I get close to 45 degrees, it's good too, but 45 no longer works. That's difficult. In the opposite direction, it's also pretty good, but it's hard to do it. As for this cube, I have no doubts. I even take more than 45 degrees and it cuts off this angle. Here, more than 45 degrees. Theoretically, with such a cut, the side should turn in this direction, but it turns here. Amazing! Listen, I haven't seen such things for a long time, it's amazing. It's even too much. But here with 45 degrees and also a little more than 45, it goes freely. But since today we do not have an overview of specific cube models, but only a comparison of the old and new versions, let's look at the internal elements as well. We have already seen the elements on the old cube and now let's see how they look on the new one. Just look how far technology has gone. Although there are some similar details, there are some similar moments, in any case the difference is enormous, just take a look. This video is sponsored by the cubicle.com store. Now you can clearly see the magnetic systems here. The magnets that pull the two elements together here. Naturally, 10 years ago no one even thought that magnets could be in cubes. As soon as they appeared in the cubes, everyone somehow thought that it was a pretty strange idea. But nevertheless, now the modern cube is produced with magnets only. The difference is of course drastical, amazing, and here you can already see a huge difference between production technologies 10 years ago and now. Let me remind you once again that we are not reviewing a specific model, it's simply a comparison of a modern cube and a 10-year-old cube. Just imagine that some time ago people were solving the cube of this model in several seconds. And world records were set with this exact cube, but now I'm so glad that I have seen the development of technology in speedcubing. And I clearly understand that even then, 10 years ago and now, the Rubik's Cube remains the most popular toy, the most popular puzzle on the planet, continuing to bring the same cool emotions to all people who are trying to solve it. Learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube, enjoy it. That was Cubastic, thank you all for watching, bye everyone and have a good time!